An impressive performance to start the evening off from Dave Chisnall. 100 average, 60% on his doubles. And Chizzy, the number 10 seed, is through to the last 16 of the Happy Bet European Darts Open. Can a four-time winner on the European Tour, Michael Smith, join him there? Daryl Gurney awaits the winner of this one. Gurney hitting 8 180s. James Richardson did that as well. Richardson will take on Chizzy tomorrow. Gurney awaits the winner of this one. It is Michael Smith, the bully boy, versus Peter Jacques, the postman from Yorkshire. Jacques was fantastic last night in seeing off Kyle Anderson. Anderson averaged 100. It still wasn't enough. He only got 3 legs against Peter Jacques. Jacques doesn't even have a tour card, and yet he finds himself with a chance here of making a final day of action on the European Tour. He's already gone on one dream run on the Pro Tour, made the final in his very first Players' Championship event. I'm Dan Dawson, Chris Murphy alongside me, and you cannot rule out Peter Jacques, particularly after the display he put in last night against Kyle Anderson, can you?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Peter to throw first. Him on.
Yeah, he can play darts. This man, Peter Jacques, he's actually in danger of earning himself a place on the tour just by his performances. I mean, we've spoken about it before. He didn't compete in the final day of Q School and would have probably got a tour card. But ended up playing on the Challenge Tour and playing in a lot of the Players' Championship events, notably one which he got to the final of, the very first of the year, beating Michael Smith along the way.
Yeah, what a run that was Peter Jacques had, the very first Players' Championship. Yeah, I went down to Q School on the final day and I saw his name up on the list, and he'd been playing very well over the first 3 days, evidently, because he'd amassed so many points. Obviously he didn't turn up because he went to play Yorkshire County Darts on that final day. But even though he'd played well at Q School, I certainly did not expect Peter Jacques to batter his way through the field and make the final of that first Players' Championship event. But he's shown, he's since won a Challenge Tour event as well. Yeah. He's shown that he's a very, very dangerous competitor.
Yeah, well, he started that run with a victory against Paul Nicholson. That doesn't raise that many eyebrows, but he then beat another guy who's won PDC title, Josh Payne, before seeing off Willie O'Connor, and then Gary Anderson, then beat Michael Smith and James Wade in the semi-final. Lost out to Chuck Norris in the final. It was a dream day for Peter Jacques. His performances that he produced are starting to become a bit of a recurring dream.
Not a dream start to this match for him, though. 5 visits to the board, he's still got 140 left. Michael Smith looking at 114 now. Treble 18, not to be.
98.
Good last start.
140 then, treble 20, the first target. Probably stay there because he's got loads of room.
100. Michael requires.
Well, he leaves himself tops. There's pressure on this. Michael Smith, it's not his favourite area of the board for doubles, but he pins it first start anyway. It is 1-0 with a break of throw to the bully boy.
If anyone was wondering why I said he might stay there, because there's the option of tops after the first darts found the treble, as Mark Walsh showed us earlier on with that 140 checkout against Gerwyn Price. Didn't do him any good in the end. In fact, it inspired Gerwyn Price. Here comes Jacques now. And he mentioned he's a postman from the fine town of Huddersfield. We've already seen one Yorkshire postman deliver today, Joe Cullen.
Yeah, played excellently, Joe Cullen, against Christoph Ratajski. 2-0 down, won it 6-2. Christoph was still averaging 97 at the end of the game, and Joe Cullen just didn't really give him much of a chance. It was fantastic work from the rock star. We will be seeing him tomorrow as he looks to try and take that one step further. He's made Euro Tour semi-finals, one this year, one previously. Can he go all the way to the final? Plays darts like today, he might well do.
Should just clarify that he has actually hung up his post bag, Joe Cullen.
Yes.
He's a full-time professional darts player. Peter Jacques has left the biggest finish of them all. Would be somewhere to introduce himself in this match.
It's on. It's on. Oh, it's not in though.
Michael Smith then will not be going for the bullseye. He'll be going for double top. and he's hit double top and doubled his lead.
Third leg is speedy to throw first. Him on. 100.
That meeting that they had when Jacques got to the final of the Players' Championship event is their only meeting. So Michael Smith looking to level up the limited head-to-head stats between this pair and exact a bit of revenge.
Well, you would think if Peter Jacques continues to play as he has, and Michael Smith maintains his form, because Michael Smith's been fantastic this year, they're going to have a few more meetings. I mean, we don't know how far Peter Jacques could go. We don't know if he'd even want to tour card next year if the opportunity arose. But he seems to be committing himself to playing a lot of PDC darts, whether it's on the Challenge Tour or the full tour. Obviously qualifying for the Euro Tour once again. He has made 3 now. First round loser in Saarbrücken.
46.
Won his opening game at the European Darts Match Play, went out in round 2, and of course he's won his opening game here, looking to take another step forward. But against Michael Smith here, look at this. Oh wow, another treble would have left him on tops. As it is, 78 isn't a bad effort.
Yeah, he's doing a bit of bullying, isn't he, the bully boy? Seems to be in
100.
complete control so far.
78.
Can he control his darts here? Well, no is the answer, but he's got a shot at the bull's eye.
53. Peter required 112.
Well, he couldn't take out the 170, Peter Jacques. 112 is a heck of a lot easier. Not really easy, though. Oh, and he's 74. Just gone next door into the double 1.
Michael required 25.
Double 10 for Michael Smith. Double 5. Can't find the target. And
you can see that, I think that might have caught the flight of the first dart. That's the danger if you go that route. 25, 5, double 10, missing side on the 10s, and that first dart can get in the way of the double 5. Jacques says that's the danger on double 19. Well,
Michael, you require 5.
Well, welcome to the danger zone. Michael Smith, 1 for double 2.
In showing the third leg, Michael Smith. Fourth leg is Michael to throw first.
Well, not only is that a 3-0 lead for Michael Smith, that is another break of throw. And the bully boy is dominating this game with Peter Jacques.
60.
Michael Smith, he's just a different player from what he was last year.
Yeah, world number 11, Michael Smith, did dip back into the top 10 after winning the Gibraltar Darts Trophy, but has
55.
dipped back out. Wouldn't imagine it will be too long before he finds his place in the top 10 rather more permanently.
40.
Well, I think he could be even higher than that, Michael Smith. I think he genuinely could go and win major honours, and it may not be that long before he goes on and does it, because he's back playing the sort of darts that has propelled him to 4 Euro Tour titles. 81. Obviously the most recent one in Gibraltar, but the 3 that he won prior to that all came in a 12-month spell. And it's that sort of form that got him into the Premier League. And no, it was a massively disappointing season from the very first night, where Michael Smith had to play 2 games because Gary Anderson was ill, and he lost them both.
58.
Well, I would be very surprised if he doesn't get another go at the Premier League within the next 2 or 3 years, Michael Smith.
I completely agree.
98.
If he does go and win major honours, he'll be in, won't he?
Yes.
No one wins major titles and doesn't get in the Premier League.
No, that can't have happened, can it? Hang on, let me have a think.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll ask Paul Nicholson in the next match, see what he thinks about that.
146.
146 for Smith.
94. Peter Grant, 100.
Puts a dent in it. Peter Jacques couldn't take out the 170. Not going to take out the 167. Michael Smith, 12 for tops. I would imagine that'll be the route for a 4-0 lead. Oh, 3 for tops then.
12.
Well, problem of his own making there, Michael Smith, and it allows Peter Jacques back to the board. It's going to be a breaker throw if he does take this out as well. Double 7. There it is. And Peter Jacques, well,
Fifth leg is feeded to
He's
third
back
leg.
in this game with that break of throw, and he could have been battered out of it there.
It could prove to be a very costly slip. That dart, aimed at the big 12, found the single 9, only allowed him one
59.
attempt at double top. Peter Jacques playing nowhere near the level that he found yesterday. His opponent, though, also playing nowhere near the level of his opponent yesterday. This is better, though.
140.
Kyle Anderson, one of only a couple of players to average 100 yesterday, wasn't he?
190.
Dumped out of the tournament.
Yes. James Richardson 101 average, he won. Kyle Anderson 100 average, he lost. Only got 3 legs. I mean,
92.
baffling stuff. And yet we saw other players win, and they didn't even manage 80 as an average. Strange old game, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't just award the trophy to the guy who's had the highest average.
70.
Jake's just left that 140 again. But Michael Smith's going to be very well placed, isn't he? Yes, he is. On a nice little 2-dart. Check out Michael Smith.
Well, he sets up the shot.
100.
Leaves double top. But Smith with a chance. 2 darts at double 8. And he's missed by a mile again. Not only has he missed a double, he's again missed a segment.
Yeah, and I know that he's very close to the corner of the double 8, but there is no way he's aiming.
Well, he's aiming for the middle of the double 8, isn't
exactly.
he? And that is right in the middle of double top. And we have a game on our hands. Well, Michael Smith has a game on his hands, and he shouldn't really have on his hands.
No, Michael Smith, really, I mean, he got 1 dart in the last leg, he should have had another. He got 1 dart for that leg, he should have had another. So he's had chances. I mean, he could be 5-0 up, but he should have given himself more opportunities to win those legs.
45.
And it's just the temptation with Michael Smith, because of the way he throws and his style, the temptation is to think that he's being a bit lazy. Now, most of the time, I would argue against that, because he does try. Usually he's beat himself up when he misses shots. It's actually quite good to see from Michael Smith that he's not doing that right now.
140.
He's just getting on with the game and trying to work his way to his top 4. Because it's there.
140.
Yeah, when he's on song, it's an absolute joy to watch, Michael Smith. Free flowing, free throwing, power scoring.
60.
Still in his hands, isn't it? The fate of this fixture.
99.
Yeah, and he's down to another 2-dart checkout. Jacques, really, well, he needs 1 treble. 2 would put a lot more pressure on. If he doesn't get 1, he's in real problems in this leg.
60.
And that is exactly the case. Michael Smith, plenty of time to play, doesn't need to use the bullseye route. Even if it doesn't go, he should set it up, but he does hit in treble 16. Double top, that's a good guide. And there it is, much better stuff. Michael Smith back hitting his doubles.
Yeah, perfectly crafted finish there from Michael Smith. Laid a marker and then landed second dart in the double top. Jacques just trying to cling on now.
Yeah, he wasn't very far away from winning a 5th Euro Tour title last time out in Austria. Michael Smith, who fires in his first 180. We've had to wait an age for 180 in this game. Yeah, fantastic final with Michael van Gerwen. Look at this.
121.
Little smirk from Michael Smith. I think he quite fancied it.
57.
He was telling me the tale of a 9-darter he hit on the Euro Tour back when it first started. Over on the second stage, there's only about 4 people watching. Well, that is Peter Jacques' first 180.
Well, like buses. 180s in this match. But Peter Jacques is looking for the number 66 now.
66.
Tops it'll be. And tops it is, a 12 darter for Peter Jakes. And once again, the Yorkshireman showing some real grit, sticking in there in the face of an opponent throwing some serious darts at him. Now, has the volley boy found his range?
Well, both players seemingly raising their game towards the end of this match.
Yeah, the averages have been in the 80s, but they're climbing into the 90s now. That doesn't help Michael Smith. You can just see that first sign of frustration where he's just letting it boil over a little bit.
58.
Important leg, isn't it? Because he will probably feel if he wins this leg, he'll be all right. Left himself a finish. Jacques going down to 19 because 2 trebles now would leave the same finish. And that's what he's done.
And he wasn't that far away from taking out the 170 earlier in this game, Peter Jacques. Michael Smith is not going to take it out, and Jacques will have another crack at it. And if he can do it, this 170 would be almost as good as the one Michael Smith hit in the final against Michael van Gerwen last time out on the European Tour, because it could change the course of this game. Bullseye! Oh, he missed again by a fraction.
Well, yeah, moved the bull ring, didn't it? And Michael Smith lets out a roar. He knew how important that leg was. 72 checkout. The 170 in the final in the end didn't help him against Michael van Gerwen. That 72 may well have helped him over the line here.
It really, really could do. The 170 from Peter Jacques, the second attempt at it, could have turned the game in his favour, but there was still work for Michael Smith to do to see that leg off, and he did it expertly.
Yeah, twice missed the bullseye for the 170.
60.
Well, he's missed 6 darts at doubles, Peter Jacques, in this game, and will feel that if he just hit 1 or 2 more, it could be very, very different. But 3 of those darts have come at the end of massive checkouts, 2 at the end of 170s, 1 at the end of 112. But that's the illustration where just one big checkout at the right time can completely change the complexion of a game. Because he's been right there with Michael Smith for the majority of this match.
Well, he's in front of him here. Much simpler checkout than Smith will face if he comes back. He will come back.
98. Michael
There's somewhere to win the match. Not too much pressure on it because he's got time on his side in the match, and he's got double 15.
135.
Wow. Very nearly closing it out. Double 15 missed by Michael Smith for 150 checkout. Peter Jacques double 2. Madhouse.
No score.
And that might be that for Peter Jacques. Odd darts missed at the end of big checkouts. A couple of the biggest checkout of the lot. And it may have cost Peter Jacques, but not as much as those 3 misses there. And Michael Smith does book his place in the final day of action. He remains in the hunt for a 5th European Tour title, one he was agonisingly close to claiming last time out in Austria. Can he go and claim a 2nd Euro Tour event of 2017? Well, Michael Smith has shown this year that he is in the mood and back in the winning habit. Peter Jacques, a very entertaining and impressive cameo he's played in the Happy Bet European Darts Open this weekend. We'll be seeing plenty more of him in the Pro Tour over the rest of 2017, and who knows, we could see a lot more of him in the years to come, because Peter Jacques looks a serious player. We've got a couple of serious players on stage for you next, as the King, Mervyn King, returns to action here in Leverkusen against the number 9 seed, the Diamond Ian White.
It wasn't a super match, but you had the control all the time. That was my feeling.
Just that I didn't do enough to win, but not to do enough to win. But that was a battle. The first 4 or 5 legs, it was who could hold the nerve, and then both of us started to get into it a bit, and I started getting sloppy. I missed 11 going for double 8s, and I missed Big 12 for 52, laying back in it, but it was about digging deep and doing what I do best, and it's grinding out games and winning. That's all I like doing, is just to win.
If we look back, how important was this win in Gibraltar? I mean, that was really the turnaround of the season, right?
Yeah, of course. I've been struggling for 2 years, and to get finally to win my first tournament in 2 years, it was a massive constant boost. It's what I needed and it's what I deserved, I think, because of all the hard work and what I've done to get back to where I used to be. So it's about time I start winning now. The first few Europeans, I was out the first round playing well but not getting no luck. And now I'm starting to play even better and starting to win the games. And like you've just seen then, it wasn't the best game, but I'm still winning.
Yeah, that's right. Great. See you tomorrow, Michael. The bully boy, Michael Smith.